Well, the biggest struggle, man, was just getting around other people that would say I could do it. I mean, that's the biggest struggle. Just you get around one guy says, yeah, you can do it. And then you talk to him tomorrow and he's like, no, dude, this is freaking, you can't do this. You know, there's so few people telling you to do it. You know what there is a lot of? Save your money, protect yourself, conserve, don't spend, don't take risk. Taking risk is the new way to be risk adverse. The biggest struggle for me was my family, man. The people closest to me was the biggest struggle. Every time I went out to do another deal, everybody told me, you don't need to do that, man. The only person that was encouraging me was my twin brother, because I would see how he was doing it. Dude, he was making his swings. And so every time I'd get around other people, so I'll tell you a little trick I did. On weekends, I would always go see homes I couldn't afford. That has always inspired me. I would go drive neighborhoods. I don't watch news, I make news. See the shift? You see the slight shift? Don't watch the news. Decide when you leave here today to make the news. Right? You don't read the newspaper, you write newspaper articles. You don't read books. Yeah, read them, but learn to write them. And you don't need to spend a lifetime writing a book. This was 3 hours. I wear a little band on my pen here, on my wrist here. It's a little black band, and it says, champions dominate. And on the other side, don't be a little bitch. Because I don't need it. I need to get rid of the whiners, the excuse makers. Human beings have so many excuses, it's unbelievable. You know why? Because you watch the news too much. Because you've agreed to receive news, not make news. The thing is not to just be positive, not even to offer this no negativity policy that I talk about. The way to avoid negative and distracting people, man, is to vibrate at a rate so fast, okay, that you're out in front of them. Once I got a speeding ticket, actually here in Miami, and the police officer says, why are you speeding? Why are you in such a hurry? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to stay away from the crazies, okay? If I can just get ahead of everybody else, I'm not distracted by anybody but guys like you. And your job is to stop me, but the truth is their job is to stop me, distract me, and cause me to turn around and stop my mission. See, so I got my ticket and moved on and went to the head of the pack again. See, this is what I'm telling you, man. Look, if you want to not be bogged down by negative, distracted people, you need to take responsibility that you're slowing down enough to get caught up by this magnetic charge of distractive and negative people. Dude, you need to vibrate so fast that these people are distracting other people, not you. Get way ahead of the crowd. Get so busy that nobody's gonna jack with you, man, because you're filling up your pipeline, you're full, you're busy, and you don't have this stuff sticking to you. Over and over, almost every seminar I go to, somebody will walk up to me and say, dude, how do you handle burnout? And my reply is fast and simple. I don't believe in burnout. That's right, I don't believe in burnout. Now, I know if you're experiencing the exhaustion that is associated with this idea of burnout, that nobody can prove, by the way, that this seems impossible to you, that burnout doesn't exist. But I'm telling you, listen to me, burnout is not real, it's made up. Take a step back for just a second while I try to sell you on this idea. And try to remember a time when you were on fire, lit up, excited about being an entrepreneur. See, that's gone, right? Yeah, Grant, I'm burnt out. That's what I'm telling you. No. Go back to the time when you were lit up on fire. You couldn't sleep at night. You didn't need to eat, okay? All you needed was the idea of a future you had for this dream, this idea, this business, whatever. See, at that time, you were goal-driven. The possibilities were enormous. They fed you. You were mission-driven. See, it's when the mission's missing, it's when the mission goes away that a person starts to experience being tapped out or burned out or exhausted. At least this is my experience. Look, when I'm not tapped fully into my future, my goals, the potential, the possibilities, I don't care what the job is. Whether it was me when I was working at McDonald's, the country club, I was working on a rig down in the Gulf of Mexico, or whether I was writing my first book. Look, when your goals aren't big enough, when you're no longer sold on your vision, your purpose, your mission, the symptoms of losing interest, what many call burnout, are experienced. Anytime you stop reaching for massive success, the next thing, you start settling in, getting comfortable. Listen, settle? Dude, why don't you just decide to hate your life every day? See, that's when you start having problems, when you start settling. That's why comfort and complacency are the entrepreneur's worst enemy. In fact, I would tell you this, the comfort and complacency are everybody's worst enemy. The only time I've ever gotten in trouble in my life was when I was bored, complacent, when I was settling. Who wants average? Who wants average? Nobody wants it, okay? Nobody, no matter where you're at in life, you don't want average. But we're surrounded by average people every day, average ideas, average products, average advertising. Only those that have given up on greatness would settle for average.
I mean, there's so many mistakes salespeople make. I think you need to get down to like the main ones, but you're not selling the solution. I mean, even before that, though, I would say, Corinne, is the biggest mistake. People are not excited. They're not alive. They're not showing interest in the cycle, and they lose interest. I was in Barcelona recently, and I was looking at a watch, and the cycle didn't close. I could have bought the watch. I was qualified to buy the watch. I'm the one that walked myself in the shop on my vacation to look at the watch. I knew exactly the watch I was looking for. And when I left, my wife said, "What could he have done to close the sale?" I said, "Well, he could have kept life in the cycle. He could have kept the cycle open." So what I mean by that is, look, if you're not interested, if you don't believe the cycle can be closed, it will not close. So the number one mistake I think salespeople, managers, and the store makes is they assume a close can't be had that day. I go into every cycle, every sales cycle with every prospect, every phone call, no matter how complex the sale is or how simple it is, with the belief that I can sell that product that day, this time, now.
My message to you this week, right now is not the time to stop. You can't stop. I wake up this morning, I'm like, my God, man, what's going on? What's happening to the world? The place is coming, it's a scary place to live in. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're stopping right now. Now's not the time to stop or worry or back up or become apathetic. Now is the time to start again. That's right, again. It's like I got to start over and over. I got to continue every day, like you do, to improve yourself, improve your skills, improve your game. Every day, start over. Now is not the time to start or back up or retreat or get lost in all the problems. You can do way more than you're doing.